issued by the NHS because of the climbing temperatures and the rising humidity. If you're concerned about the heat this weekend, you can call NHS Direct, but for all other weather information, you can go online.
This is BBC News, the headlines at 2 o'clock. Levi Belfield is told he will never be released from prison for the murder of Millie Dowler, but he won't face charges for the attempted abduction of an 11-year-old girl.
Millie Dowler's sister complains about the way her family were treated during the trial, saying it was worse than the days after Millie disappeared.
You just can't explain how horrific it is in that courtroom until you are actually in there.
The Greek financial crisis, David Cameron secures a limit on how much the UK would pay towards a second bailout.
So as a result, I think it'd be wrong for us to be drawn into the European element of a future payment.
Meanwhile, the Governor of the Bank of England warns the most serious risk to UK banks is from sovereign debt by euro economies such as Greece.
Also coming up in the next hour, will it be second time lucky for the Olympic hopefuls? Thousands race to snap up the latest batch of 2012 tickets in a first-come, first-served online frenzy.
And at Wimbledon, British teenager Laura Robson is battling it out with the fifth seed, Maria Sharapova, while Andy Murray faces Ivan Lubovich later today.
Hello, good afternoon. The convicted killer, Levi Belfield, has been sentenced to life for murdering the schoolgirl Millie Dowler 9 years ago. He's been told he will never be released. This morning, the judge discharged the jury at the Old Bailey before they'd reached a verdict on a final charge against him because of what was called adverse publicity.
Meanwhile, Millie Dowler's sister has complained about the ordeal her parents went through during the trial. Let's take you live to the Old Bailey and our correspondent there, Sophie Hutchinson. Sophie.
Work here, but the judge decided to dismiss this case against Levi Belfield anyway. They had still been considering an accusation against him that he'd attempted to abduct another schoolgirl called Rachel Cowles the day before Millie was murdered. Well, due to what he called adverse publicity, that will no longer happen, and the case against Levi Belfield is now closed. But